Just before I begin this video, I'd like to announce a podcast that I'm going to be doing with a fellow YouTube friend of mine, and IRL friend of mine even. So just keep an eye out for that. We're going to be covering on my channel gaming and hardware PC stuff, and on his channel we're going to be covering comic books, movies, and whatnot. This is going to help us both out. To be completely blunt with you, I want to be completely honest with everyone. This is going to help both of us out. So if you like the first half of the podcast, you can go for the second half there, vice versa. So we're hoping to start this podcast and upload the first episode relatively soon. Relatively soon. Just keep an eye out on the channel, maybe, and you'll be able to see it eventually. Hopefully you do enjoy it when it does come out. Again, you don't have to watch it. You never have to watch my content, but so it's nice if you hopefully watch it, hopefully like it, and I'll try to keep you updated as much as I can on hardware and PC gaming. And if you're interested in movies, the second segment or the first segment, it will be on my friend's channel, whose link will be in the description when the first video is out. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a good one. Hello there, guys. It's the Average Review here. Today I've got a video that's slightly different. No canning on the console peasants. No giving any tips on PC gaming. Today is something, I'm going back to one of my roots, one of my OG videos. I'm doing a review, kind of. I wouldn't call this a review as much as I would call it a rant, kind of. And seeing that you've probably seen the title, I'm doing a rant. Okay, today I'm talking about Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is that phenomenon that came out a couple weeks back, maybe a couple months back, and it basically took the App Store, the Google Play Store by storm. Everyone's been playing this game. It's been in the news. It's boosted Nintendo's sales for days. It's just been amazing. But if we really think about it, get the nostalgia out of our face, how good is this game? Really, how good is it? Let's think about this, okay? So this game comes out. The servers are broken, firstly, which this game got a lot of flack for, don't get me wrong. But the game should have been working straight away. Why did they have to fix it gradually? And I mean, props to Niantic and Nintendo for actually fixing the servers eventually. But this should have been fixed from outside the box, not later on. But they have been, mostly made stable now, so I can't really complain. And then the tracking system was broken for a while, so people had to use apps like Pokevision. And then they stopped Pokevision, and then they still didn't fix the tracker, and then they fixed the tracker, but the new tracker is kind of AIDS. So, yeah. But the game in general, as a game, isn't half bad, but I still wouldn't classify it as a game. I would classify it more as a time waster kind of thing. If you're out and about and you're like, oh, let me just check the app if there's anything nearby. Okay, I think how it's being played, it shouldn't be go out to play Pokemon. It should be, if I'm out, I can play Pokemon. It should be the other way around. It should be, oh, I'm going to work, let me just check if there's a Pokemon around. Oh, I'm going to school, let me see if there's a Pokemon around. But instead it's, I'm gonna go play Pokemon to go to central London and pay money to travel there and to catch more Pokemon, because all that's near my house are Pidgeys, and that's an uneven distribution of Pokemon. Like near my house, there's Pidgeys, Rattatas for days. If I go to Central London, there's Squirtles, Charizards, Charmanders, Charmeleons, Snorlaxes on top of the London Eye. It's disgraceful. Come on, guys. And that's not even bringing up the mechanics. The mechanics of this game are broken. The mechanics were broken, should I say. They're shallow. The fighting in this game is shallow. It should be fixed. The fighting in this game is horrible. As a Pokemon game, this is by far the worst Pokemon game of them all. There is no depth to the fighting. There's a little bit of depth, I would say. I think the fact that if you're a water type and you go up against a fire type, you have a much higher chance of winning. But this game introduces the CP system. And basically, if you have even a fire type and they have a water type and you have like a much higher CP Pokemon, you've already won. CP is made way too important in this game. Way too important. CP is everything in this game. Honestly, it shouldn't be like that. It should be the other way around. It should be your fighting types should determine, or your fighting stats should determine how well you fight. And in the other Pokemon games, you had 4 moves that you could do. And each one of them had different effects. You could have different types of moves. If you had a fire and rock type, then you could have 2 rock moves, or 1 rock move and 3 fire moves, or, you could vary it up. So you were more likely to defeat enemies, right? Like, let's say there was a grass type, you could use your rock and fire moves. Or if there was a ice type, you could use your fire moves, and your rock types wouldn't be as effective, but your fire types would be very effective. But here, you've really only got 2 moves, and yeah, you might be able to learn 2 moves, like rock and fire. But the way you execute them is tapping. One of them is a normal move that you can consistently do, and one of them is a build-up move that you have to basically top up. And this, compared to the normal Pokemon games, is just bad in general. I can't believe you were willing to call this a Pokemon game. This could have been its own thing. This could have been its own IP, where it could have been just randomly go out and capture animals, and this could have been unique. But you've put it as a Pokemon game, and it's going to get compared to other Pokemon games. And as a Pokemon game, it doesn't stand up even in the slightest. I say, if you have played the other Pokemon games, you aren't missing out on much. And if this is your first Pokemon game and you really enjoyed it, I'd say why not pick up the other Pokemon games? They're just as fun. You can get them for dirt cheap now. Hell, emulation exists if you don't own a DS. So just try to do something. Just don't. If you can, there's no need to play Pokemon. You don't need to play Pokemon Go, rather, sorry. And if you already have and you're like getting bored of it, you're getting bored of the mechanics, why not play another Pokemon game? You get more Pokemon in those games. There's no server lagginess. You can battle your friends if they have the same Pokemon game. You can do the whole gym thing. You can trade your Pokemon. You can level up your Pokemon, just like this. There's no in-app purchases in any of them, I'm pretty sure. There's actually a story to follow, which is interesting. And it's just overall better. This just feels like an empty shell of a game. It's like the game is missing from here. It just feels like they haven't completed it. There's potential, but they haven't reached it, even remotely, anywhere near it. So, in conclusion, I think if you're gonna play Pokemon, or if you're wanting to get into Pokemon Go, try it. If you like it, then play it until you get bored of it, and then play the other Pokemon games. If you already played Pokemon Go, you don't like it, you should still try the other Pokemon games, because there is differences between them, and they are much better, like statistically and all that, with more things to do. And if you are getting sick of if you have played the other Pokemon games and haven't played Pokemon Go, you really aren't missing out much. If you want like the whole, going out catching Pokemon aspect, then that's up to you. But I personally think Pokemon Go is just a waste of time, and isn't really even a fun game. It's quite boring. So, it's up to you really if you want to play Pokemon Go. I personally wouldn't. And my house is also like a Pidgey spawn, so I'm pretty sure every house is a Pidgey spawn, but my house in particular is the worst Pidgey kind of spawningness. Anyways, this is the average reviewer signing out. Hope you have a very good day. See ya.